Today we're gonna make a really nice spare rib from the barbecue on the 3-2-1 method. Hello everybody, I'm Dave, and from my back garden I'll be making delicious food that everybody can make. Let me show you around. This is Dinner with Dave. Spare ribs. If you're gonna do some barbecuing, you know you'll have to have spare ribs. And there are several ways to cook them, and here in the Netherlands most guys just take the spare ribs, put them on the barbecue, just wait until they're done, and then you don't have extra flavors. But I want to add some flavors. So we're gonna do it with my rub. And that's about it. Some rub, some barbecue sauce, and yeah, easy spare ribs, but it's gonna take you a lot of time. It's gonna take you about 5 hours. Yeah, it's a long time for a really nice dish, but it's worth it, believe me. So I've got myself some big ass spare ribs and there's a fleece on it, so let's first remove that fleece because that's not nice to eat. And yes, this fleece is not nice to eat, it's gonna get rough, and the best thing to remove it, well, I think it's the best way to remove it is to get a little piece opened up. And then get yourself a paper towel. Just take a paper towel, get a little bit of the fleece, and you can, if you're lucky enough, you can pull it off. And the paper towel is helping you to grab it a little bit more easier. So you can remove the fleece. There we go. So got the fleece removed, then trim off all the excess pieces that you don't really need. If you see some big fat pieces, you can remove them. But they're looking nice, so that's not really needed. And I already made a video for you guys to show that I put it into salty water just to get it extra tender. Then I'm gonna take some oil, some neutral oil, get some oil on there just to create a sticky layer for the rub. Nicely cover everything in. And I'm gonna take the rub and season the first side. I made a video about it. You can find it in the link above the video. So cover it nicely. In the meanwhile, barbecue is already heating up. So that's size 1. Always start on the back of the spare ribs because you don't want the presentation side to be wrecked. There we go. Then we're gonna go with the oil in again for the sticky layer. Give it a little press. Make sure every little bit is covered, even the sides. Then let it dry for a little while. And in the meantime, your barbecue is heating up. In the meanwhile, the barbecue nicely warmed up. I'm gonna look for like a temperature of 120 degrees. Then we're gonna set it up My plate setter, I've got myself an extra dripping plate so my barbecue won't be messy. Gonna get it on there. I'm also gonna add some apple smoking wood just to give that extra layer of flavors. Gonna put it in. Then we're gonna take the spare ribs and we're gonna put them in there for 3 hours. After 3 hours they look like this, and now it's time for the next step. That's to cover them in aluminum foil with a little bit of extra flavors. So I've got myself a layer of butter here on top of the aluminum foil. I'm gonna put some brown sugar on there. A nice layer there. It will melt anyway. So some brown sugar, and I'm gonna use some honey. Then take the spare rib, put it on his back, on top of it. Oh man, that's really looking nice. And then repeat the thing you did. So some knobs of butter. On there. A little bit more brown sugar. That will give a really nice caramelization. And I'm always using a double layer of aluminum foil because you never know if it's gonna break in your barbecue. And then we're gonna close it up. So this is gonna be in here for roughly 1 more hour.
A few inches later.
I'm gonna let them dry a little bit more. So we're gonna open it up. Oh, look at all the juices. Nicely caramelized. And we're gonna let them dry for a little while in the barbecue. Oh, they are falling apart, really falling apart. So tender. Get the temperature a little bit up. Also gonna do the second one. You can hear them sizzling. Oh. So now for 30 minutes I'm gonna let them dry a little bit at a little bit of a higher temperature. And then it's time to eat.
A few moments later.
Last 15 minutes. I'm gonna cover them with some barbecue sauce with apple vinegar. Give them a nice layer. Give them a good spread. Don't put it up too thick. Nice thin layer. Final caramelization. And then it's time to get everything plated up. Time to plate up. For this I'm gonna use some snack tomatoes. Salt. A little bit of fresh ground pepper. Next up, the star of the show, the spare ribs. Cut them between the bones. Try to cut them between the bones. So tender. Meat is falling apart. Isn't that looking great? I also made some rosties, homemade rosti, of course always hard to get them out. So here we go, spare ribs with veggies and crispy rosties. This is gonna be a party. My kids really love this food. Nicely eat with your hands, and yes, delicious. It's gonna cost you a lot of time to create, but in the end, it's worth it. Well, this was Dave from Dinner with Dave. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, and we'll see each other next time. Bye bye!